Hey y'all, this is Ieasha of Ieasha Designed It, and welcome back to my channel. Well, today, as you've seen in the title, this is Sublimation 101. Y'all, we going all the way back. Yes, all the way back to the basics. Now, the reason why I wanted to make this video is because y'all know it's grad season, which is graduation season. And here on this channel, that's what we're going to be diving into. I'm going to be concentrating on grad season as well as memorials. So we all know that there's money to be made in both of them. Now, graduation season is only a season. It doesn't last long. But memorials, that's something that can be done over and over again on a continuous basis, okay? So what I'm going to do today, I'm going to be teaching y'all about sublimation. Now, in order to make graduation stuff and memorial stuff, a lot of things have to be sublimated. You can sublimate t-shirts, you can sublimate tumblers, you can sublimate keychains. There's so many things that you can sublimate. You can sublimate fans, a lot of things, okay? So what I'm going to be doing, I'm going to tell you first of all what sublimation is. Now, sublimation is ink. You have to have a sublimation printer, or it can be a converted sublimation printer. You have to have sublimation ink. You cannot use the original ink that will come with your printer unless you get an actual sublimation printer. Now, we're going to be talking more about converted sublimation printers because that's what I've been working with since I've been doing sublimation, and that's what I have now. So if you get a converted sublimation printer, which anything from an Epson products, they may have some others, but Epson, that's what I normally deal with. I started out with the Epson 2760. That was the very first printer that I had, and I converted it over into sublimation. I have now moved up to an Epson 8550. That's the one that I have now. Now, the difference between the smaller Epson sublimation printers and the difference between the 2760 and the 8550 is that the 2760 can print up to, I think it print like an 8.5 by 11. That's all I've ever printed on. When I started, my Epson 2760 was 8.5 by 11. Now, the thing with the Epson 8550, you can print all the way up to 13 by 19, which is a bigger print, right? And that's used with the Epson 8550. Now, I'm going to show you the Epson 8550 that I have, and I'm also going to show you what I started with, which was the Epson 2760. Now, another thing that I want to tell you about sublimation is that one thing about the ink, sublimation is different from any other thing that you can think of. It's different from DTF. It's different from vinyl. Sublimation is when, I'm going to show you what I'm talking about. Now, this is a shirt that I did for Awareness Month, okay? This is the one that I took with me when I did my pop-up shop. Now, as you can see, this is sublimation. Now, I sublimated this on a hoodie. Now, what I mean about sublimation is different. You see how the actual ink, let me give you a closer look. Do you see how the actual ink is like, it has went down into this fabric? Do you see that? It's not standing on top of the fabric or any of that. Vinyl stands on top of the fabric, but do you see how sublimation goes into the fibers of the shirt here, the hoodie? Okay, do you see that? So this is what makes it really, really nice, because more times than likely, if the person who is doing your sublimation, doing your t-shirts or whatever, if they do it right, when you wash it, it should not fade. It should not come off. It should not do any of that. Okay, now these shirts, a hoodie should last for years if done right. Okay, I've made plenty of these, and I mean, they have lasted a lot of years. I made them for myself, as well as my families, as well as my customers. So another thing when it comes to sublimation, when I told you that you can sublimate tumblers, here is one that I did. Now, this is one that I made for myself for Christmas. Now, this is the Grinch one, as you see right here. Okay, this is another one. Now, I'm going to tell you something. Look right here. Do you see how that looks? Now, that could be because of The tape, you know, you have to use heat tape when you're doing sublimation. You have to use it on your tumblers. You also have to use it on your t-shirts or hoodies or whatever you use. But this is called, a lot of times people call it ghosting. Now, this is just a little bit right here in this area that's ghosting, but you see on the other side and all the other areas here, it looks really, really well. So in order to keep that from happening, you have to make sure that you wrap your tumblers very well, and you have to make sure that the heat that you use, the time and the temperature is correct. Because if not, then you will get that ghosting. Now, what that means, when I say your time and temperature, you have to make sure that your time is correct, and you have to make sure that your temperature is right. Because if not, if you take this out of your tumbler press before time, or whatever, however you may do it, or you don't have the temperature correct, when you take it out, it will leave the ghosting, okay? Or if you don't have it wrapped tight enough, you have to make sure that you have it wrapped tight enough also. All right, so another thing that I want to talk about is the sublimation ink. Now, a lot of people think that once they get a sublimation or a converted printer, just say for instance, you go get an Epson. And a lot of people think that you can use that Epson ink inside of the printer that you get. You cannot do that, because if you use that ink inside of the printer, that's not sublimation ink. Sublimation ink is a special ink just for sublimation. Now, if you use that ink, you will not be able to sublimate with that printer. You will be able to just do regular prints. But sublimation inks are totally different. I'm going to have a link for the inks that I use in the description box. Also, make sure you go and grab, I have this free supply list that you can go and grab so that you will know where to get all of your items. It tells you exactly where to get your items. It's the actual link that you can click, and it goes directly to where I get my items, okay? Another thing that you need to go and grab as a beginner is my Sublimation for Beginners ebook. Now, everything will be linked in the description box below. I have a stand store. All you have to do is click that link, and it takes you directly to my stand store. When you get on my stand store, the Sublimation for Beginners ebook will be there. Go ahead and grab that ebook, okay? You can go ahead and you can read it, and you can go ahead and, you know, get on your sublimation. Go ahead and start sublimation as soon as possible. Now, the reason why I did that ebook, because I do not want y'all to be like me. I was buying stuff that I didn't need. I was messing up my blanks, and you know, blanks, which is t-shirts, tumblers, and all of that, that's what you call a sublimation blank, is not cheap. So I went ahead and wrote that book just for you, so that you would not have to spend all the money and go through all the things that I had to go through to learn, okay? So that's what the ink is. You will need some actual ink, sublimation ink, in order to do sublimation. So like I told you, you will need a converted printer, which I use Epson. You will need sublimation ink, so make sure you go and grab your ink. When I first started, I started using Cosmos ink. Now I use Hippo ink. But it's a lot of different inks out there that you can choose. Like I said, go grab my ebook. That will give you everything that you need in order to know exactly what you need and how to use it, okay? Another thing that we're going to talk about is a heat press. I think it was a 9x9 heat press or 9x12. It was very small, one of the little smaller ones. Now, as a beginner, I'm not going to tell you to go out there and buy the biggest heat press, but I will tell you this. If sublimation is something that you know you want to do, you want to have a business in it, then I recommend you to go ahead and get the bigger heat press. Now, I did upgrade, as you see right there, to the 15x15. That was the one that was in my budget. I always tell y'all, go back and look at my videos. Don't ever go out there and purchase things that you don't need. Don't go out there and purchase these expensive things when you're just starting off, because you want to make sure that you know that sublimation is for you, because to be honest, you may get in it and may not like it. And if you don't like it, you'll be done spend money on all this stuff, and then you will try, you know, now you will have to try to sell it or whatever you may have to do with it. So just start off with, I would recommend starting off with a smaller heat press if you're just testing this out just to see if you like sublimation. Now, if I can say one thing about a heat press, you can use it just for personal use. Just say, for instance, you might try and may not like sublimation, and you may just want to do t-shirts for your family, for your friends or whomever. Then your heat press, you will still be able to use your heat press. Now, heat presses come in different sizes. You have a 16 by 20. You also have the really big heat presses. But I would recommend those once your business really started growing and you really have started making, pretty much you become a successful business, okay? So there are different type of heat presses. You have a clamshell heat press, which is the one like what I have. It closes. All right, you also have the swing away heat press. Now, the smaller heat press that I was telling you about, that's the one that I had that was a swing away. What a swing away means is that instead of going straight down, you will have to swing it from side to side. Like when you finish pressing, you can pull it up and you can swing it from one side to the other. Now, I can say a swing away will help you most times to keep from, burning your hand. But, sometimes that still happens. But either one, I've had, like I said, the clamshell, which is that one, and I've had the swing away, and I like both of them. Okay. Also, you have a tumbler press. Now, a tumbler press is where you will be pressing your tumblers. Now, I just, not too long ago, bought me a tumbler press, and I found a good deal on it because it came with a hat press. So, a tumbler press is just where you will put your tumbler inside of it, and it will heat up the design, which is, this is the design right here. This design that you see on here is a design. Pretty much, this is the template that I had. I made this template for this tumbler. Okay. Now, what the template is, a template is where you take the template, which is a design, you place it on your tumbler, and pretty much when you press it, it becomes this. Or if it's on a hoodie or a shirt, it becomes this. Okay. Now, a tumbler press, I'm going to show you that also. Now, another thing that you can start out with if you don't want a tumbler press, because I didn't have a tumbler press for a long time, I started out with a convection oven. Now, convection oven is really pretty much simple. It's pretty easy. I like it. It's not that expensive, depending on which one you get. And I'm going to show you the one that I have. I had to buy me another one, so I'm going to show you the new one that I have also. All right. So the next thing that you will need are blanks. Now, you may be saying, what are blanks? That's what it's called here in the sublimation world. When you get t-shirts, you get hoodies, tumblers, keychains, whatever it is. We're talking about graduation. We're going to be talking about graduation. What comes with graduation? Again, t-shirts, stoles. Stoles is what you see the student wearing when they come out with their cap and gown on. All those different things, okay? Pillowcases. You can try any of those. But that's what a blank is. A blank is anything that has you have to have a polyester count of at least 50%. Now, 50% is on the low side. I would recommend 100%. And when you get the 100% polyester, that means your design, template, whatever you use, the ink is going to be more vibrant on it. Now, one thing about a tumbler is that it had to be sublimation coated. You can't use any tumbler for sublimation. This is a sublimation coated tumbler that I've used here. Now, this hoodie here is, what is this? This is, I think, 60. This is 50% polyester and 50% cotton. So you can use a 50-50 blend. But as you see, do you see this? Now, this look really, really nice. But the higher the polyester count, the more vibrant your designs will be. All right. So the next thing we're going to talk about are design softwares. Now, when I was telling you about the design template, like when I did this shirt, I did it from a template. This is a 13, I think this is 13 by 19 print. When I was telling you about the 13 by 19, this is a bigger print. Okay, this right here, when I was telling you about the template or the design, this is it right here. Now what I do, I make pretty much my own designs. I don't go to Etsy and get designs. I don't go to all those other places and get them. I make my own. And the reason why I do it, like I've been telling you this previously in my videos, I like to have my own designs. I like to be different. I like to be unique. Now, one thing I'm going to tell you, I do buy templates from other people. Now, I have done that, and I do that, and that's okay to do. But majority of the time, I make my own templates, and I'm going to be teaching you how to do the same. Now, the different softwares that you can use, you have Photoshop, which I'm not very knowledgeable about Photoshop. I know some people are. Canva. I love Canva. And I have some videos here that I'm going to be linking right here where I have designed in Canva. We're going to be doing more of those. And there's some other softwares out there, okay? But those are the ones that I want to talk about because I think those are the ones that most people use, Photoshop and Canva. I'm sure there's some others, but those are the ones that mainly I know about. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to talk about some other things also. I'm going to go ahead and get that out to you. Another thing that is needed when you're doing sublimation is butcher paper. Now, this is a piece of butcher paper I just tore off. I have some over there. And this is what you use inside your t-shirt, inside your hoodie, whatever it is that you are subbing on. You will also use it. I do. I don't know if anyone else do it. Some people may or may not, but I use it when it comes to my tumblers. Now, what I do when it comes to my tumblers, I just wrap the paper around the tumblers just like this. All right. And I would push that in, and I would push the top part in. And I mean, you can take this if you want to. I don't. I just take it and put it in either in my convection oven or in my tumbler press. So that's how that works. Now, you know, some people may not use it. It's totally up to you. I use it. I like it. And one reason why I use it is because if not, sometimes your ink may bleed onto your heat press, or even just say for instance you have a t-shirt that you're using, and just say for instance you are pressing the front, it may bleed onto the back, and you don't want that. So all you do is just take a piece of butcher paper and just place it inside your shirt, and that would keep, you know, from that happening. It should keep from it happening. Another thing that you would need is a lint roller. Yeah, this right here is one very important piece of an item that you will need, because this right here helps to remove so much lint from your t-shirts, hoodies, whatever it is that you are sublimating. Now, when it comes to my tumblers, I don't use a lint roller. Some people may, but I use alcohol. All right, that's what I use, just a simple alcohol to wipe my tumblers down. All right, so another thing that we did not talk about that I want to talk about briefly is sublimation paper. Now, sublimation paper, y'all, you got to have some sublimation paper. If you got a printer, you got to have sublimation paper, because you cannot print on regular, at least I've never tried it, print on copy paper for sublimation. I use sublimation paper. Now, go ahead and get my book. Again, I have the free sublimation list that is in my stand store, as well as my Sublimation for Beginners ebook, which will help you as you're learning sublimation. It will show you everything that you will need. So make sure you go and grab it right now. Okay, you're gonna need this because this is what we're diving into. Like I said, we're diving into graduation season and memorials. So you're gonna need this. You gotta learn it, right? And also, while you're over there, go ahead and grab my Sublimation ebook, Sublimation for Beginners ebook. It's going to show you, it's going to teach you so much. So make sure you go over and grab it right now. It's $9.99. Okay, $9.99. You can go ahead and check out over on my stand store. It will be a link in the description box, So make sure you go and grab it. Okay, so let's get back to this. Like I said, you will need sublimation paper. There are so many different sublimation papers, so you will have to go and see which one works for you. I have used at least 2 different ones. I have used 2 different ones since I've been doing sublimation. I've used Hippo and I've used Ieasha. Okay, but you know, whatever you like is what you're going to use, okay? I can't really speak on other paper because I haven't used it, but you make sure you get what you like. All right, so another thing that you have to have that I talked about before is heat tape. You cannot do without heat tape. Now, some people may press on it without heat tape. I think I've seen some people do it, but I have to have heat tape. Now, heat tape will help you to keep your design, your template, pretty much where it needs to be. So if you are doing a tumbler and you use your heat tape, once you place the design down, you take your tape and you place it where it needs to be placed, it's going to help keep that design down. And when it helps keep that design down, remember, it will help with ghosting and all the other things that you may have when it comes to sublimation, okay? So that's a necessity. And I have used 2 or 3 different heat tapes. Now, this is my favorite one here. Okay, it is in my book. Also, it's in the sublimation supply list, so make sure you go and grab it. The sublimation supply list is free. It's free, so you get it. Then you go and buy the Sublimation for Beginners ebook, because that's going to help you out a lot. All right, so another thing you will need that I use is, of course, some scissors, because you're going to have to cut your butcher paper, and it may be some other things that you may have to cut. All right, so let's go back. Let's go all the way back. Now, when I told you about the designs and how to design to make sure you get your design, design out on your sublimation printer, you will have to flip that design, which is called mirror it. Okay, you will have to mirror your design, because if you print that design out without flipping it over or either mirroring the design, it's not going to come out right. Because just like this right here, when I mirror the design, and mirror is all you do is just pretty much turn it around. Okay, you just turn it around. And once you turn it around or mirror the design, is what it's called when you get ready to do it. And just put it on here and it comes out like this. It comes out the correct way. All right, y'all. So pretty much I have told you everything that you will need to know just to get started in sublimation. Another thing I want to say, and this is a little motivation, is to don't be afraid. When I first started in sublimation, I didn't know nothing. I did not know anything about sublimation, but I went ahead and did it anyway. When I first started, I messed up a lot of blanks. I did. I messed up a lot of t-shirts. I messed up a lot of tumblers. And, you know, it happens. But I made that ebook just for you so that you will not have to go through those things. You will learn a little bit more and a little bit more as you continue to read the ebook, and you will learn what it is that you need to learn to stay away from, and you also will learn what it is that you need to learn in order to be successful in this business and to see if this business is for you. So another thing that I want to encourage is practice, 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 and keep on practicing. One thing about learning is that you never stop learning. I don't care if you're an expert. You're going to still have to learn something, because there are new things coming about each and every day. New different type of, ways to design, different type of softwares. Everything is coming out that you're going to have to learn. So you have to be in a position in order to learn. Okay, so now one thing I did tell you that I'm going to do, I'm going to show you the items that I have here that I use when it comes to sublimation. Like I said, I use Canva. And you have, in a Canva is pretty much canva.com. I have showed you a video. I'm going to link the videos in the description box, as well as this section right here that you can go and watch. I'm also going to have my sublimation ebook in the description box, as well as the free sublimation supply list. So make sure you go and grab it. And I'm going to show you the other things also. Let me make sure that I am not missing anything. If you have any questions, make sure that you leave them in the comment section below. If you have some questions that you want to ask me, My email address is also in the description box below, so you can always email me also. All right, y'all, so this is the very first Epson converted sublimation printer that I started off with. As you see, it's the ET2760. I'm no longer using this one, but this is the first one that I started off with. This is a very great printer. Now, the printer that I'm using now is this one, the ET8550. Like I said, this is a bigger printer. This one prints up to 13 by 19. All right, so another thing that I did not talk about is the Easy Press. This is the Cricut Easy Press. This is the big one. Now, this is another thing that you can use. I would recommend that you would get a heat press instead of this, but I have this. You don't see me use it very often, which I'm going to start using it, but I highly recommend an actual heat press. Now, this is my Cricut mug press. Now, I use this for mugs only. I don't put tumblers in that. All right, so this is the tumbler press that I was telling you about. This is the Enor. This is the tumbler press. This is the hat press that came with it right here. I haven't used the hat press yet, but I will soon. All right, so this is my heat press. This is the Better Sub heat press. This is a 15 by 15. I absolutely love it. All right, so I want to show you this. Remember, I told you I started out with a small one, 9 by 9, 9 by 12. That one I have in storage, but I do have some videos that where I was using it, and I will link those also so that you can see. It's not where you start. It's where you pretty much just keep going and going and going and just keep going until you can do better. All right, so I also want to show you the tumbler that I was telling you about when I tell you that it's just a sublimation coated. This is it. This is one without any designs on it. Now, this is one that I use in my tumbler press because you have to put something. You have to put a tumbler in your tumbler press while it's heating up. So as you see, this one have all kind of different stuff on it. This is just used for the tumbler press only. But this is how it looks. It is sublimation coated so that you can add your sublimation design. All right, y'all. So that's what I want to talk to you about. Remember, practice, practice, practice. And once you practice, just start with the small projects first. I would say start with maybe a t-shirt. Maybe start with a tumbler. Tumbler is, I'm not going to say that it's, a tumbler is one of the smaller projects that you can start with. This will help you to pretty much learn how to tape everything, how to apply your designs and all of that. Like I said, I will be linking videos so that you can watch them. Maybe you can try with some keychains or something like that. Just something small. Don't start off with something big and expensive at first. All right. Also, make sure you go and grab my free supply list as well as my Sublimation for Beginners ebook. If you all like this video and you found it helpful, make sure you give me a big thumbs up. Make sure you share this video and subscribe to the channel because y'all, I'm coming back and we're going to be making some t-shirts and some other things. Like I said, it's grad season and it's memorial. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to dive right into it. So I hope that you all have an amazing day and I will see y'all in my next video. Peace.